You are looking at the Amazon Fire Phone. It's the latest device from Amazon, clearly. It's a part of its Amazon Fire line. It runs on an Android-based operating system, and it should look familiar to anyone that has a recent smartphone. We're going to just look at what it's like for gaming today. That's what we do here. That's what we're going to take a look at. So I've downloaded a couple of games. A couple of the games that they recommended. I also went to the App Store and looked at a few others. There's a few, they have a whole thing where they recommend games specifically for this device that take advantage of a couple of its unique features. And we'll look at those. Let's start with the one that they recommended. It's called Tofu Furi. Furi? You can see it. It's got that cool Amazon game boot up screen. Okay, so you can see how the camera's already sort of moving because it's sort of tracking my face. So that's the big thing about games in this phone. It's called dynamic perspective. These four dots in each corner, one in each corner, those are actually cameras. They're tracking your eyes and your face at all time. It then adjusts the screen depending on where your head is. Really, you can see if you move around like this, and it, you can see it kind of has a pretty cool effect when you do that. But it doesn't work quite as well as advertised, and we'll get into that in a second. So first, let's start up this game. Okay, I got my daily bonus. Gotta love that in-game currency. Okay, you can see that we're looking around. I can look around the level. I can skip that person talking. And the object is to take my little tofu guy and put my big fat finger in front of the screen so you can't see anything, and then collect those things. And it's a pretty straightforward puzzle game. Obviously, it gets more complex than that, but for our purposes, we're really just looking to see what it's like to look around. And you can see it sort of loses my face. That's partially because I do have the camera between me and my face. But even when it is tracking my face perfectly at all times, there's a little bit of a delay. It's not automatically responding instantaneously, and that delay really destroys any of the effect that the dynamic perspective is supposed to give. What it's supposed to do is make it feel like the image has real depth, and that you're looking into a 3D like little window, but that doesn't happen with the delay. So it's actually kind of a bummer. What it ends up feeling like is that you're just controlling a camera, but with your head, and that can be very distracting. So let's hop out. This is about all you really need to see of this. I think this will probably be the only other game we'll check out. I think you'll get the idea by watching me play this. So this is one of the games I found by looking in the Amazon App Store and looking through its list of games that support dynamic perspective. I love the bridge constructor games. There's something nice about building bridges. It's enjoyable. This game's bridge constructor, medieval or whatever it is. And it's fine. It's the same exact game you'd find on Android or iOS. But the difference is it's got this camera control functionality. And I think it might look pretty neat in the image you're seeing. But when I am playing it, and I'm just trying to build a bridge, every little motion gets translated into a camera movement. So you can see how it's sort of twitching in the background. And that is it's annoying. It's distracting. It's like having someone come up to your controller like you're playing a console game and just slightly wiggling the right stick that controls the camera. I haven't gotten nauseous or anything, but I could see some people maybe having some issues with this just because it's so sensitive. Now, not every game's going to be like this, but most are. This is what they use the dynamic perspective for. Okay, let's look at one more game. This is Saber's Edge. And you can see that by tilting, I'm looking around the world. And I don't know if you could tell this from the video, but it looks like it's just sort of panning around a still image. There's not a lot of parallax going on. I mean, maybe it's slightly going on, but I can't even tell. And so it really just feels like I'm moving a cursor around a screen by moving my head and by tilting the device. And again, there's this delay. There's just this like half second, not even, maybe a quarter of a second delay that's noticeable enough to really just destroy any, impact the effect should have. Let's see if we can get into a game real quick. Yeah, fight. And it's a basic, matching game. But you can see up here, twist, and again, it's just like pivoting a camera. So overall, I would say that it's a powerful phone. It can handle the games all right. It's got the whole Amazon store selection, which doesn't have quite as many games as clearly as iOS or even Google Play, but it has plenty. It's got most of the stuff you're gonna want. You can see this snowboard game also features some of the camera effects. But the device itself, it's a bit heavy. I just don't see the point in the dynamic perspective. It's really kind of annoying most of the time. I'm actually gonna look for a way to turn it off, just because it is just such a distraction. Well, that's the Amazon Fire Phone. It's available now. You can get it on Amazon.com. I'm sure you'll go to their homepage and it'll be blown up real big there. It comes with a free year of Prime. Comes with some points. So you could buy some games that cost money and stuff like that. It's interesting, but it is the first version that Amazon's done, and I wouldn't go for it yet. Especially not if you're already ingrained in a system like iOS or Google Play. I'd stick with those. That's what I'm gonna do. All right. Thanks for GamesBeat. This is Jeff Grubb. Thanks for watching.